Blurb. In a world where the three little pigs are fed up, the big bad wolf just wants to blow off some steam. And houses. And Little Red Riding Hood has a serious grandma problem. This isn't your childhood storybook. This is what happens when classic characters hit rock bottom, discover the magic of insurance fraud, and realize that Las Vegas might just be their true happy ending. When fairy tales go sideways, the true story, the way it really went down. Written by Rrocket, Chapter 1, The Pig's Master Plan. Boy, oh boy. Man, I gotta tell you, I'm so tired of hearing about Little Red Riding Hood and how she got tricked by the wolf. I know better. I was there. I seen it with my own eyes. And the three little pigs? Well, let me tell you, they were not innocent in this whole fiasco either. I just wanted to personally step up and let you know that this whole thing about Little Red Riding Hood and getting tricked by the wolf never happened. Never happened. That was just some story that Little Red Riding Hood came up with to cover up her own shenanigans. So, pay attention now. I'm going to tell you the way it really happened, the way it really went down. Once upon a time, a little piggy was chilling in his straw house when he heard a voice outside. Little piggy, let me in, or I'll huff and I'll puff, and the little pig cut him off. Yeah. Okay. Just hold on. I know the deal. Here we go again. Just hold on a minute. Let me grab a couple things real quick. He then said, go ahead and blow it down. I'm at the point where I just don't care anymore. Let's get this over with so I can rebuild my house. The wolf blew the house down. The pig ran next door to the wooden house and said, check it out. There's that wolf again out there. He just blew my house down again. Now he's coming over here. So the two little pigs snuck out the back door and went to their buddy's house that was made out of stone. Check it out, man. That wolf's out there again. He's about to blow down my wooden house. The pig in the stone house said, that's not cool, man. What are we going to do? He thought for a moment. We should call the sheepdog to come save us. But the pig from the straw house shook his head. No, I've had enough of this. Let him blow them down, man. Then we'll take the insurance money and we'll go to Las Vegas. So the wolf blew down the straw house and the wooden house, but of course, he couldn't blow down the stone house. Just then, the cops showed up and they were like, hey, Wolf, you can't do that, man. This is vandalism. And they put the wolf in jail. Chapter 2, A Day in Court. Inside his cell, the wolf found Elmer Fudd. What you in for? Elmer asked, looking up from his bunk. The wolf grumbled, blew down a couple houses, man. Elmer chuckled. Don't worry, man. It's all about the permits. Don't sweat it. You'll probably just get a fine. What about you? What you in for, man? The wolf asked Elmer. Excessive hunting wabbits without a permit, Elmer sighed. What a drag, man, the wolf sympathized. Yeah, man. And I never even caught that wabbit, Elmer added, shaking his head. Just then, Deputy Dog called out, Big B Wolf, come on, let's go. Time for court. As the wolf entered the courtroom, his ears went low. Oh, great, he thought. It's Judge Judy. I was hoping for Judge Wapner, man. Judge Judy's voice boomed. Big B Wolf, step forward. The big bad wolf shuffled forward. You've been charged with vandalism, Judge Judy announced. Yeah, but what about huffing and puffing without a permit? The wolf blurted out. Judge Judy glared. Don't you get smart with me. Did I ask you any questions? The wolf cowered. No, what? Judy snapped. No, Your Honor, the wolf mumbled. You're absolutely right. Since you want to be a smart aleck, let's add huffing and puffing without a permit also. 2 weeks in jail, Chapter 3. Little Red Riding Hood's Dilemma. Meanwhile, over at Little Red Riding Hood's house, she was having her own issues. Ah, Mom. Come on, man, she groaned. Why do I always have to deliver stuff to Grandma? Her mom sighed. Well, since your sister Goldie was eaten by those 3 bears, I don't have anyone else. What about Jack? Red asked. He's still recovering from that candlestick burn, Mom replied. Now don't argue, just get going. All right, fine. Whatever, Mom. Little Red Riding Hood mumbled, heading out the door. Chapter 4, A Cruise, a Harley, and a Park. When the wolf finally got out of jail, he was like, man, now what am I going to do? I'm so tired of getting in trouble all the time. I need a new line of work, man. Next thing you know, he noticed Little Red Riding Hood walking along. The wolf was like, hey, check it out. What are you up to, man? And Little Red Riding Hood was like, I'm going back to my grandma's house. I hate hanging out over there. I wish I could just get rid of her, man. The wolf's eyes lit up. Well, check it out, man. I just got out of jail and I need some place to crash. So what do you say that I help you out? I got these cruise tickets that I found on the ground when I was walking by little Miss Muffet's place. She was just sitting there taking it easy. Next thing you know, she just freaked out and started running real fast, and they fell on the ground. I picked 'em up and was like, "Hey, Miss Muffet, you dropped something." But she was running around and freaking out like she just suddenly lost her mind or something. I couldn't get her attention. So I asked the itsy bitsy spider, "What's with her? What happened?" The itsy bitsy spider just shook his head and said, "I have no idea. She just suddenly lost it and started running around like she'd gone crazy. But as usual, I'll probably get the blame for it, man." The wolf let out a little chuckle and said, "So I thought to myself, I guess I'll just keep him. We can give him to the old lady, and then when she splits on the cruise, we can just hang out at her place." So they devised a plan. They went to see Grandma and said, "Look, Grandma, we got tickets here for you to go on a free cruise." Grandma was like, "Wow, that's cool." And Grandma ran off to the Water's Edge Touring Company. But when she got there, there was no cruise ship, just 3 men in a tub. She was like, "Man, that's a drag." So she started heading back. On her way back, she found a really nice Harley Davidson for sale for a good price, so she bought it. She cruised on back to her house, and as she pulled up, the sound of loud music and laughter spilled out. Red Riding Hood and the wolf were throwing a full-blown party. Grandma cut the engine, the roar of the Harley momentarily silencing the noise from the house. "Hey, Wolf," she called out, a grin spreading across her face. "Check it out, man. I got me a nice Harley Davidson. Want to go for a ride?" The wolf poked his head out, eyes wide. "Whoa, Grandma. Come on out here, man." Grandma started it up and revved the engine playfully. "I'm older than that little Red Riding Hood, and I can definitely take you on a wilder, more fun ride than some young girl." Just then, little Red Riding Hood came stumbling out of the house, looking disheveled. "Grandma, you're back? And on a Harley? Oh, man. Busted." Grandma just scoffed. "You're gonna think busted when I get back. You better get rid of all those people and clean this place up fast." "Right on, Granny," the wolf yelled, and without hesitation, he hopped on the back of the Harley Davidson. Grandma popped a wheelie as she peeled out, the bike roaring down the woodland path. "Hooah!" "Hey, man, be careful," the wolf yelped, clutching tight. "Don't sweat it, man," Grandma called back over her shoulder, expertly navigating the bike. "I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for years, man. I'm more than just an old lady, you know." The wolf held on for dear life. "Oh, boy," he muttered, "I'm in for a wild one." Chapter 5: The Woodsmen and a New Career. After Grandma and the wolf cruised for a bit, the wolf finally called out, "Man, I need a break." "Right on," Grandma replied. "We'll stop down there by the water and kick back in the grass for a while." So, Grandma and the wolf pulled over and settled into the grass. A few minutes later, someone started walking towards them. "Who's that?" the wolf asked, getting a little nervous. "Oh, that's the woodsmen," Grandma said casually. The wolf's ears perked up. "Oh, no, not the woodsmen," he whispered, a flicker of his old fear returning. "They sure don't like me for some reason. I mean, you eat one chicken. They had plenty. I didn't think they'd miss one lousy chicken." Next thing you know, Grandma chuckled. "No, no, not the woodsmen, you silly. That's Jesse and James Woods, the woodsmen. They're talent scouts." Just then, Jesse and James Woods walked up, their eyes immediately landing on the wolf. "Hey, you'd be perfect," Jesse exclaimed. "Turn your head to the right, turn your head to the left, stand up, turn in a circle." "Yep, you'd be perfect. How'd you like a job as a model?" The wolf's eyes widened. "Wow, man, that'd be cool. As long as there's good pay involved." "Oh, sure," James assured him. "There's a lot of money to be made. Do you think you can make it out to Vegas?" Grandma, always up for an adventure, chimed in, Yeah, I can take him on my Harley." Chapter 6: Vegas, Wall Street, and Redemption. So Grandma, true to her word, took the wolf to Vegas on her Harley. And just as the woodsmen, Jesse and James, predicted, the wolf became a sensation. He became a successful poster model for all sorts of books, including Little Red Riding Hood and the Three Little Pigs. But he made most of his fortune modeling for posters of the boy who cried wolf. Meanwhile, the Three Little Pigs were still enjoying their time in Vegas, spending their insurance money. One day, they spotted a massive poster of the Big Bad Wolf. "Oh, man," one of them groaned, "it looks like the Big Bad Wolf is in Vegas now. We better get back to the woods." Yeah, another chimed in. "We're almost out of money anyway and probably barely have enough to get home." The wolf, with his newfound wealth, wasn't content to just model. He invested all his money in Wall Street and became even richer. The three little pigs, with their insurance money long gone from their Vegas spree, ended up back in the stone house, the only one still standing. But then a letter arrived in the mail. The postmark was from New York. The first pig asked the other two, "Do you know anybody from New York?" The two shook their head. "No," they said in unison. The name on the front said Leonardo. The first pig said, "It's from somebody named Leonardo. Do you guys know anybody named Leonardo?" Once again, the other two shook their head. "No idea, man." When they opened the letter, they realized that it was from the wolf. He explained that he had moved to New York and changed his name to Leonardo. The letter also included a heartfelt apology. "Look, man, I'm sorry that I blew down you guys' houses. I was going through a rough patch at the time." And attached to the letter was a big check, more than enough money to rebuild their homes, along with a brand new book that he had just written about his life. It was titled The Wolf of Wall Street. Now you know the way it really went down. The three little pigs? Well, they were investigated for insurance fraud for claiming the stone house was ruined in the whole fiasco. And they came up with this story about the wolf trying to get them, and going down the chimney and ruining the chimney in the stone house, which of course never happened. They claimed that the wooden house was made of pristine pine wood, that everybody knows is not true. It was made out of some old sticks and junk wood that he had just found laying around. They ended up writing their own book on this situation, but never really told it the way it happened. The book became a very popular legend, mostly among children, and Red, when she found out how rich and famous the wolf became, she was like, "Man, what a drag. If it wasn't for me, he'd never met Granny and never got noticed." And she tried to slam the wolf's name by writing her own version of the story where the wolf tricks her. She came up with this ridiculous story how she showed up one day and found the wolf in Grandma's bed. She actually tried to convince people that she didn't know the difference between the wolf and Grandma. As if somebody wouldn't know the difference between a big, hairy wolf and a little old lady. And Grandma was never around to dispute it, because one day she just up and disappeared. Everybody figured that she must have died. But don't worry, she didn't die. She was just cruising through Vegas, dead set on never returning to the woods and her ungrateful daughter and grandkids, when she ran into Yosemite Sam, and he was like, "What in tarnation? A granny on a Harley?" And Granny was like, "Yeah, baby." Now that's what I'm talking about. A real man. "Come on, you want to go for a ride?" And they hit it off so good that they moved to Sturgis, Colorado together. They moved in with Jim Morrison and Elvis Presley, who were renting a place together. And they've all been living there together to this very day. The end.